In this video, you will very quickly learn the key things you need to know to get started with Compass. We're going to discuss 5 topics. How does a call flow work in Compass? How to add numbers and change basic user settings. How to configure a basic dial plan. How to make and receive calls on your mobile phone with Compass. How to use the Compass API to build your own applications. Let's start. How does the call flow work in Compass? I will explain this with a simple flowchart. The first step, incoming phone calls. Just as any other telephony system, phone calls need to be received on the PBX. We do this with extensions and with external telephone numbers called external numbers. The second step, a dial plan. When one of the numbers is receiving a call, each of these calls goes through its own dial plan. In this dial plan, there are elements such as sound prompts, IVRs, cues, etc. These elements determine how the call is being handled. The third step, user settings. After the call went through the dial plan, it can end up at a user. Users can have specific settings affecting the behavior of the call, such as personal settings and other advanced settings. After the user settings, the call ends up at an endpoint. The call flow endpoints are usually desk phones and mobile phones. How to configure the previously described call flow in Compass. The first step is to log in and add phone numbers. When you log in, you will directly land on the user settings page showing various pieces of information, such as personal information, phone and number information, personal call forwards, dial plan switches, and queues. To configure extensions and external telephone numbers, go to Manage, Dial Plan, and click on Extensions or External Numbers. On this page, you can add and edit your phone numbers. How to configure a basic dial plan in Compass. When you have your numbers configured successfully, you can click on the number to open the dial plan. You will then see a blank canvas, but no need to worry. Making a dial plan is simply a matter of dragging and dropping the desired elements in their place. But first, we need to make a few dial plan elements such as sound prompts, cues, etc. To do this, click on Manage, Dial Plan, and the desired element, for example, prompts. Here you can see a list of prompts in your company, or in my company, in this case because I've already added them earlier. There's also a button to add a prompt. Once you have added a prompt, you can always come back to it later and change it. Now that we have made all the elements, I will now show you how to make a dial plan for our company. Let's say, for example, we can be reached on workdays from 10 to 6. I will configure this with a time-based routing. Click on Branches, Time-based Routing, and drag it onto the canvas. Now add the conditions for opening and closing hours. We do this by adding 3 time slots. During nights and weekends, we are closed. During the day, we are open. After doing this, we will add new elements for each time slot. In the cases where we are closed, we want to play a sound prompt stating our opening hours. We simply drag the sound prompt under the condition, but we also want the customer to be able to leave us a voicemail. We just drag the voicemail element after the sound prompt and everything is set up. When we are open, we want the caller to hear a welcome message and the name of the company they reached. We again use a sound prompt here. Then we want the caller to be able to choose the appropriate department with an IVR menu. We go to Branches, IVR menu, and drag it to the right location. We select an IVR prompt and use 3 options by checking 1, 2, and 3. Option 1 for sales, for example, Option 2 for support, and Option 3 for administration. Now for each option, we can set its destination. For Option 1 and 2, we will use sales and support queues, while the third option, we will direct to an individual person. After clicking Save, the dial plan is published. How to make and receive calls on your mobile phone with Compass? Now that we have created our dial plan, we want to ring a phone. To do that, you first need to add, configure, register, and log into a phone. Go to Manage, Phones. If you want to add a supported desk phone, just select your brand and model and add a MAC address. When the credentials are entered correctly, the phone will register on the Compass PBX. After logging in a user, the phone is able to receive calls. To use Compass on your mobile phone, please download Cloud Soft Phone app from your iOS app or Google Play Store. The second step is to add a soft phone to the Compass web interface. After creating it, open the Settings page. Then, to configure your mobile phone, open Cloud Soft Phone app and choose to scan the QR code. After scanning the code, the app will be configured. To receive phone calls, the last step is to log in a user account onto this phone. We can do this easily by typing *1*201 and pressing the call button. Now that the user is logged in, this phone is able to receive calls. How to use the Compass API to build your own applications? With the API, developers can get access to most functionality of the Compass platform. For an overview of what parts are exactly included and how to use them, view our developers page at iperity.com/developers. I recommend you to also have a look at our API schema on our Swagger page, our GitHub page, Developers Manual, and Help Center. That was it all for this video. You now know all the Compass basics. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Bye.